Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. This is Richie, and in this video, I want to talk about the news about the New York Knicks taking D Rose and Cam Reddish out of the rotation, and Duece McBride has been entered into the rotation, and the Knicks beat the Cleveland Cavaliers on Sunday with this rotation. So obviously there's a lot of things happening around the New York Knicks. Saturday we lose to the Dallas Mavericks after having a good first half. In the second half, the Knicks completely fell apart. I was at the Garden for that one. And then on Sunday, we happened to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, and we held them to 81 points. And Tom Thibodeau made a big decision, benching Derrick Rose for Duece McBride, and now Duece McBride seems like he's going to be part of the everyday rotation, and also taking Cam Reddish completely out of the rotation. Both Derrick Rose and Cam Reddish did not touch the floor once on Sunday against the Cavaliers, and the Knicks still ended up winning. So according to Stephen Bondy, he says that this is not like a one-game thing. For the next foreseeable future, for the next couple of games, Thibodeau is going to experiment, and he told Derrick Rose that this is Duce's time, and also Cam Reddish is not expected to be part of the rotation in the game against the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow night. So I want to give you guys my overall thoughts of what's going on in terms of head coach Tom Thibodeau and his mindset when it comes to these changes, and my overall thoughts of the win against the Cleveland Cavaliers. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, please hit that thumbs up button if you guys enjoy the content. And more importantly, comment down below your thoughts about all these moves that the coach is making, because we saw early in the season that Thibs benches Evan Fournier. He's out of the rotation, and that was a big deal because a lot of fans wanted that to happen, and it felt good that Evan Fournier is finally going to the bench. Now, I have nothing against Evan Fournier, but I think a big reason for that move at the time was defense, right? Fournier is a good player at shooting the ball, but when it comes to defense, he's a big liability, which led to Thibs benching him. Now, we're seeing that the biggest issue with this Knicks team is not offense. We can score. We got Brunson and Randall and all these guys that can score the ball. It's defense. It's defending the three-point land. It's being able to, lock people down in the clutch with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Seems like the Knicks can't do that, or even in the second half in general. Defense has been the biggest struggle, and if you're a head coach in Tom Thibodeau that prides yourself on defense, and that's your biggest issue, then the Knicks have a big problem on their hands. So Thibodeau's trying to, make some adjustments on the fly throughout the season, and he makes a big move heading into the game against the Cavaliers. When we were 10-13 heading in, we beat them by holding them to 81 points, and now it seems like, okay, Cam Reddish, who a lot of Knicks fans love and want to see him get all the minutes, is not in the rotation. Derrick Rose, who is obviously a veteran and past his prime, but we still love his, ability on the court, is out of the rotation. Now, I will say this. I love Duece McBride, and I'm very excited to see his potential and finally get his opportunity out there. And this does tell me that Thibodeau understands that defense is the issue, and who is one of the best defenders on the team? It's Duece McBride. Even before the season, I looked at the way that the roster looked, and I'm like, wow, we're so deep, and it stinks that Duece is not going to be able to get any minutes on this team because he's one of our best perimeter defenders on the team. And that's what this Knicks team is lacking right now. So it makes sense from that perspective that the Knicks are going to go with Duece McBride to get into the passing lanes, force turnovers, and be good at, switching on the perimeter. We're really bad at defending the three-point land this season. We're a defense that loves to protect the paint. We love to switch. We love to trap. We love the double team, but it opens up shooters. And we saw that work against the Cavaliers. There's a lot of open shots that they missed that went in the Knicks' favor. But now this tells you that the coach is definitely making some moves because he understands that if you're a defensive-minded coach and the defense is not working, you got to make some moves. And we're seeing Thibodeau coming away from his, stubbornness of sticking with his guys, sticking with the veterans. Like we always said, remember the mantra, play the kids, play the kids. Well, Thibs is finally doing that, and he's making some moves. Now, is this going to be the right decision to make? We only saw one game of the sample size of not seeing Cam Reddish and D Rose, so I don't know if this is going to continue and the Knicks are going to go on a win streak or not, but I just definitely want to make a video to give you guys my overall take on this. And the key Knicks that I have on the graphic was from the Cleveland Cavaliers game. Brunson led the way with Randall, Barrett, and quickly. That game was very interesting. The Knicks held in defensively. The Cavaliers missed a lot of shots, but at the end of the day, they held the Cavaliers to 18 points in the fourth quarter, and Donovan Mitchell was not able to do anything in his homecoming, and we heard Mitchell just talk up about the Knicks. Oh, I used to watch the Knicks with Stoudemire and Melo and even Kristaps. Like, all right, Donovan Mitchell, we get it. You wanted to be a Knick. You're not a Knick. We get it. But in all seriousness, man, my overall take on this is I'm very happy that Duece McBride is finally getting his opportunity, but I am kind of curious why Cam Reddish has to be the odd man out. So it seems like they, if they're going to do what they did on Sunday, it's going to be a 9-man rotation. And that means Jericho Sims is not going to be out there, and it's going to be the starting five that it's been throughout the past couple of games with Quickly, Obi, Deuce, and Hardenstein off the bench. Now, Grimes had 40 minutes against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we know that his defense is spectacular. So if that means that we're going to see a lot of Grimes and Deuce together on the court together, I love that defensive backcourt, man. Might not be the best offensive backcourt in the world. I love Grimes in terms of shooting the ball, but I feel like defensively, Thibodeau understands that Brunson can carry the load offensively. Randall can get a bucket. RJ Barrett, he needs to get obviously better in terms of being more consistent and efficient, and we know that he's more of an offensive-minded guy, and Mitchell Robinson is our defensive anchor in the paint. So if we can get Grimes and Deuce to start locking it down the perimeter, maybe the Knicks can go on a run. I have no idea. And the one thing I will say about Deuce is I really hope we can get his stuff together offensively, because he's definitely struggling with his shot in the NBA. When you see him go down to the G League, he's like, doesn't miss, and he's driving to the paint, and he looks like an absolute star. And even the summer league, he looked good offensively. Deuce has the potential offensively, but for whatever reason, in the NBA so far this season, his shot's not falling. So hopefully, that if he gets more minutes, gets more consistent playing time, that he can get more buckets, because we definitely want to see Deuce impact the game on both sides of the floor. But I know for a fact that I got all the confidence in the world in Deuce to help out this team on the defense. He presses full court every single time. He's always in the grill of the opposing team's point guard. He's a pest. He gets into the passing lanes. He forces turnovers. He knows how to switch. He just has a defensive instinct, and I'm really excited that he's finally getting the opportunity. But it also kind of stings that Cam Reddish seems to be out of the rotation, as well as D Rose. So we'll see if this will continue and if this is going to be a positive for the Knicks for the next couple of games. And let me know your guys' thoughts. Is this a good move from Thibs? Is he panicking right now? The Knicks are 2 games below 500, and the reality is this Knicks team, what is the goal here in terms of a fan base and this team? We want to go to the playoffs. We want to make some noise in the East. Now, do Knicks fans have confidence in this team to do that right now? I don't think so. 2 games below 500. Is there a trade looming before the deadline to really, break up this team and bring in a star? I have no idea. But at the end of the day, something needs to change. And it's awesome that Thibodeau is not being stubborn and not sticking with his guys and just saying we're going to figure it out. Instead, he's trying to be, adaptable on the fly and figure out new rotations. And it's unfortunate that we're in this situation to begin with. But the reality is, if you're losing, you got to figure some new things out, get new guys on the floor. And Duece McBride is a player that got all the confidence in the world in terms of defense. And let's hope that he can do well offensively. So Knicks got a big game tomorrow night at the Garden against the Atlanta Hawks. We'll see what happens there with the whole Trae Young situation and, with the Trae Young and their own head coach situation. But again, guys, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Love to hear what you guys have to say. And please comment down below and like the video if you guys enjoy. I'll catch you guys next time. Let's go Knicks. Peace out, everybody.